She had a miscarriage this past week. It would have been her fourth child. Many have told her to take comfort that her child is in heaven. What is the biblical view on this? What scriptures support this?
Well, John has written a great book, Safe in the Arms of God. And he does a masterful job of walking through all of the scripture, and I think presents the best biblical case, and even goes into the book of Job, for example, and extracts texts that would show what David said, that, the child will not come to me, but I will go to the child after his baby died. And so I do believe that God includes in his saving grace and applies the blood to a miscarriage. We do believe that life begins at conception. In sin did my mother conceive me, the psalmist says, and referring to the giving of the sin nature, the transmission of it at the time of conception. And so that child begins at that point in the womb, which is why we so oppose abortion and consider it to be murder, intentional, premeditated murder of a human life in the womb. And so when there is a miscarriage, then where does that child go? I think that we should have the comfort of knowing that God in his mercy and grace, built upon multiple passages, and Dr. MacArthur can pull many of those together for us here, that one is numbered among the elect and is in the Lord's presence. So, John?
Yeah, I would just encourage that lady to get the book, Safe in the Arms of God. It's a big issue. It is such a big issue that in ways that you would never assume, that little book has found its place in the world. There were a few years ago, there was a city in Russia called Beslan, and some terrorists came in and with machine guns and slaughtered all kinds of children. I don't know if you remember that in Russia. And the one issue in that town was this whole issue of grief was so massive, and the compelling question always was, where is my child? This is former communist Russia, still communist by ideology. And there was a little Baptist church in that town that rushed to take the Safe in the Arms of God book and translate it into Russian and distribute it throughout that entire town, to give them hope that even as non-believing, non-Christian parents, that their little ones were with the Lord. And it opened up doors for parents to come to the church, and the church began an evangelistic ministry to the parents of the children. The nurses associations in hospitals across the country have ordered that to stock it because they don't know what to say to people whose babies die in the pediatric wards and neonatal wards. And I think there is a tremendous need to comfort people, and I think the Bible does give answers, and I've tried to lay them out in that little book, and you can read it and judge for yourself whether the case is made.